Hey, I'm Lily, a student leader at Nativity. We're starting a new series next week called Bible 101, but before you get too nervous hearing that, this series is designed to help you find the best ways to read the Bible. For the next 4 weeks, BYOB, bring your own Bible. By the end of this series, we promise the Bible will be far less scary.
Taking a step means making a choice to move forward in our faith. At Nativity, we have 5 steps that we ask everyone to take at some point. Throughout this year, we will be exploring each step one at a time.
What do you do when you score the winning goal of your soccer game? Or when you pass that test you studied so hard for? Or that person you like finally asked you out on a date? What do you do when anything good happens in your life? You share it. Whether with friends, family, coworkers, anyone you talk to. Probably because you want them to be able to have the same experience you did. Well, if you've had a great experience at church, we want to encourage you to tell someone. It's got the potential to impact their life way more than anything else. Why should it be any different when it comes to our faith? We can come up with a lot of reasons to avoid sharing our faith.
I think the main reason that we avoid sharing our faith is because we all just try so hard to fit in, and going around preaching and sharing your love for God is just not something that we immediately go to.
It's because I think that I will be judged for my sins because what I did was non-Christian-like.
It's because we don't want to be known as the person who goes to church. Maybe it's because if we invite someone to go to church, we'll get laughed at. Maybe it's because we care too much about our faith and others don't.
Because not a lot of my friends are religious, and with our whole world being on the go constantly, I always just assumed that they were too busy.
There are always hundreds of excuses to not do something. But what if one reason to do it trumps all of those excuses? Think about it. You're not the same person you would be if you weren't a part of the church. Just like if you'd gone to a different school, played a different sport, made different friends. Everything you do has an impact on the person you are. And being involved in the church has made you a better person, right? Wouldn't it feel good to be able to talk about that and help others to do the same? You don't need to be a theologian or evangelist to share your faith. We just want others to be able to experience the life-changing message of the gospel the way you and I do. Sharing your faith can be as simple as investing and inviting to church. They may turn you down or say maybe another time, but at least you put that idea in their mind. Invest in the lives of the people you know and love, and simply invite them to church. Nobody ever gets offended by an invitation.
When I was invited to Resurrection for the first time, I was hesitant, but I thought that I could at least see my friends and have some good pizza for dinner. But after that first night, I knew that I wanted to come back again. Something about Nativity connected with me. So I went a few more times as a guest, but by the beginning of 8th grade, I joined a small group and went every single Sunday. Maybe it was the fun I had with my friends, or the incredible student band that brought me back each week, or maybe it was the pizza. Fast forward to the end of the year. It's the resurrection before Easter Sunday, and a woman named Susan is giving the message. We watched a short video, and then she began to talk about Jesus' crucifixion. Before this, I knew Jesus died for our sins, but I really had no idea what the story of Easter was or what that could possibly even mean. As Susan went on to explain why Jesus died for us, something clicked. I got chills up and down my body, and I somehow realized the gravity of what she was saying. Jesus died for me. Sure, Jesus died for people who went to Mass every Sunday and prayed every day, but Jesus also died for people like me, a girl who didn't know the Lord's Prayer, who liked to sing worship songs but didn't know any by heart, and who had never even taken communion before. That night, I went home and told my parents that I wanted to be baptized and confirmed with Nativity. And that same year, I met Daniel, who guided me through baptism and helped me to understand Nativity and their goals. Since then, I've invited a bunch of my friends to come to church, and I've become part of the student leadership team that has brought me so much joy. Nativity helped me to become a better leader, friend, person, and lover of God, and I'm so thankful to be a part of this community every day.
When Andrew and John first met him and wondered who he was and what he was up to, he didn't make a case for his mission. He didn't even get into the message. He didn't tell them everything that was ahead and what would be required of them. He simply said, "Come and you will see." You don't need to know everything about the Bible or have evidence as to why someone should attend church. You just need to create relationships that you can invest in. And when the time feels right, invite them to church. When they come, they will see why they are meant to be there. How do you invite someone? Luckily, Nativity makes it pretty easy to invite someone to church. You can send them a link to watch online or invite them to watch online with you. Have them follow us on social media, send our digital invitation cards, bring them to small group. If anything, it'll make small group more fun to have your friends there. So sometime soon, invite, invite, invite. Faith is all about making disciples. It's what we are called to do. You could also simply ask them to come to Mass with you Sunday morning. You may have to promise them breakfast, but if it gets them there, it gets them there. The bottom line is that there may be 1,000 reasons not to invite someone to church, but there is one main reason to do it. Jesus said, "Go into all the world and preach the gospel to all creation." Jesus told us to go and make disciples. It's pretty simple. It's not about having the perfect words to say or living without sin, because nobody has that. It's just being bold and saying to a friend, "Come and see." For the next couple weeks, think about how you were invited to church and how it impacted you. Invest in those you love and invite someone to church or small group with you.
You give life, you are love, you bring light to the darkness, you give hope, you restore every heart that is broken. Great are you, Lord, it's your